In your morning news now, the Department of Defense says Fort McCoy's controlled burn April 12th did not cause a massive wildfire. The so-called Arcadia fire burned over 3,000 acres, closed parts of major highways, and forced some residents to evacuate for 3 days. But DoD fire investigators in a new report say the installation's prescribed burn the same day was not the cause. That's because the military activity was more than a mile and a half away from the wildfire's starting point. Fort McCoy also had a prescribed burn on April 11th, but the DoD can't confirm if that played a part in the Arcadia fire. Investigators say too much evidence was washed away by heavy rains in the days after the wildfire. Fort McCoy leadership says they plan to meet with community members in the coming weeks to talk about the investigation's findings. The chief clerk of the Wisconsin State Senate has resigned. Michael Queensland has left the nonpartisan office following a, quote, credible allegation and an ensuing independent investigation. That's according to Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu. LeMahieu's office added that Queensland has denied all allegations. The chief clerk serves as the Senate's administrator and handles various tasks from announcing bills on floor session days to tracking the body's finances and records. Queensland had been serving in the role since January 2021. This year's drought is affecting many different types of crops, but apple farmers say things aren't too bad for them, even if the apples you pick this year might be a little smaller. Research shows that droughts can lead to premature fruit ripening and dropping, meaning there can be less fruit to pick after hotter, drier weather. But local apple growers say have no fear, the apples are as red and as delicious as ever.
We have the traditional apple trees that tend to have really deep, elaborate root systems, and they can weather pretty reasonable droughts. There was a point where we were thinking about starting to irrigate the orchard, but we decided against it, and they produced just fine without it.
Other than a batch of slightly smaller apples and fewer Honeycrisps than last year, Easter's Farm says business is just as good as any other year. The Wisconsin DNR is seeking public comment for a Viroqua clean water project. The DNR announced that Viroqua is an applicant for funding through the Safe Drinking Water Loan Program. The funding would go to improve the city's public water drinking system. That includes replacing the lead service lines throughout Viroqua. The program has already determined that the project will not lead to any significant adverse environmental effects. The public is encouraged to submit comments about this decision, and if they have any concerns about the environmental impact, we'll have information on where to send those comments posted on our website. The city of La Crosse was awarded over $200,000 in grant money to support a new housing initiative. $217,900 in state grant money will be used to convert a former train company manufacturing site into apartments and townhomes on the north side. The housing project will consist of 2 72-unit apartment buildings and 14 townhomes. The project is aiming to provide quality, affordable housing and spur economic development opportunities in the area. One lucky lottery player right across the river just became $50,000 richer. According to the Minnesota Lottery, a $50,000 winning Powerball ticket was sold at the La Crescent Quick Trip at 319 South 3rd Street. The prize can be claimed at any Minnesota Lottery office or by mail. No one won the Powerball jackpot, which is now at $835 million for the drawing later today. And Onalaska Sunfish is still without a name, but you can change that. The finalists have been set for the Name the Rockin' Sunfish contest. They include Gilly, Bobber, and Finny. You can help decide which name wins. We have a list of all the names and where you can vote posted on our website, news8000.com. Voting ends at noon on Friday, October 6th. The winner will be announced at the Onalaska Art Keepers Pumpkin and a Pint event on October 7th.
And don't put that rain gear away just yet. Still a slight chance for some showers moving in from the south and the east. Otherwise, mostly cloudy today. Temperatures in the upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. Dry and warmer as we head into the weekend. 72 tomorrow, 78 on Friday. Had to put in a small chance for a shower on Saturday. We'll keep an eye on that for you for the big Maple Leaf Parade. Low to mid 80s though for the weekend and right into the first half of next week as well.
Well, thank you for watching News 8 Now. Don't forget to keep up with news of the day on news8000.com, and we'll have the latest updates to today's top stories on News 8 Now at noon. Have a wonderful Wednesday.